Hello, my name is John Beaver.
My name is Karunakar Kota.
I'm Leo Salmon,
I'm Shiva Bupala.
Hi, I'm Wenfan Xu.
and we're Team
Team
D-Hawks, bringing you Twitter sentiment analysis during an episode of Saturday Night Live, Twitter data for a specific live event. We thought this might be an interesting idea because we thought it might be useful for people to be able to monitor Twitter activity in real time, use that as a mechanism for timing when to inject promotional material of their own. The resources we used were Hortonworks Sandbox 2.5 on Amazon Web Services, an online tutorial from Hortonworks on analyzing social media for customer sentiment with Apache NiFi. Other items were Twitter API and desktop video capture software, such as what I'm using right now. Our workflow started in NiFi. We modified the basic Twitter dashboard NiFi demo that comes in a Hortonworks Sandbox, taking the terms to filter on parameter from the get Twitter processor to adjust it to the terms we want to filter on ourselves. Also on the output processor put to HDFS, we changed a directory parameter to have control over where the data ended up on our HDFS file system. From there, while running, we would monitor output in Solar Banana so we could see tweets happening in real time. After the event, perform some sentiment analysis, pulling the HDFS files generated by NiFi into Hive. Once there, we did a set of standard queries, mostly from the Hortonworks online tutorial, to break the tweet messages into single words, check them each against an external sentiment dictionary, score each word as positive, neutral, or negative. Finally, with all that, we output tables to CSV format so one of our team members could consolidate everything into Tableau for visualization. Events and filter selection. So the event we selected was an episode of Saturday Night Live, which aired March 11th, 2017. This was a fresh new episode on that day. We distributed a bunch of filtering topics among our 5 team members. Filters are based on the show in general, a couple of popular skits like Weekend Update, cast members, the guest host for that week, and the musical guest for that week. The full filters that we actually used were slightly different from the prior slide. I won't be reading through all of this, but if you want to look through this deeper, you can pause the slide. And now we'll turn it over for Banana video capture so you can see what we actually saw during the events. We've got Solar Banana GUIs up. Each member of the team had one screen like this up during our recording sessions. Basic layout is the waveform here up at the top. Those are tweets coming in. Over here we have language diversity in the little ring graph. Green is English. The rest of the colors are other languages. The word cloud is the number and diversity of, then we've got a couple of bar graphs showing how many original tweets are coming in and the bulk volume of tweets by top senders. So Shiva, what are we looking at here in the upper left corner?
This is 11:30 data we gathered on the keyword of SNL, and the sixth one is the same keyword at 8:30.
What do we have here in the top middle?
11:30 on weekend updates.
And then over here in the upper right?
Woman Castle tweets. 11:30 is the third one, and this is an 8.
Okay, and what have we left out?
Fourth one, which is the host tweets.
Scarlett Johansson. All right, well, thanks a lot, Shiva. And now we're looking at the output visualized in Tableau. So again, this is after doing a bunch of queries in Hive, extracting sentiment analysis, and plotting the results. These are the data pulled from the 8:30 showing, which, as you recall, is when the show was live on the East Coast. At the top here, we have the filter data for the SNL terms in general. Down below is Scarlett Johansson. Then comes Weekend Update and Women of SNL. The top here in blue, that's the negative sentiment, followed by neutral sentiment, and then number of positive words at the bottom here in a rosy red. Looking at the 11:30 showing, we've got the same sections, SNL at the top, the host Scarlett Johansson, followed by Weekend Update, the Women of SNL. Moving on to the overall summary, we're back at just filtering for SNL in general. The big change here is a change in volume. So here you can see that the waveforms were getting up to about 400 tweets per time slice when the show first came out at 8:30, and only a quarter of that at 11:30. So far more people are tweeting about it on the East Coast apparently. Okay, problems encountered. One of the problems was dialing in your Twitter terms. Filtering too few, you would basically starve your system. We'd capture no tweets and we'd have nothing to analyze. Filter for too many, and for example, we know we've got tweets about Women of SNL, but it's not cleanly organized into tweets about Vanessa Bayer versus Cecily Strong. Speaking of Cecily Strong, sentiment accuracy was another issue. What we did is just simply pull a sentiment dictionary off of the web. It was part of the Hortonworks tutorial. It was simply a list of words where each word mapped to a -1 for negative, 0 for neutral, or +1 for positive, and we just went with that. So one problem is Cecily Strong always recorded as positive simply because her last name correlates to a positive word. So if we were to do this again, we would probably run an analysis on words we actually captured versus the dictionary and make sure that all the words are in there and customizations like Cecily Strong are put in place. Adapting the online tutorial to the sandbox was a lot of work. There were a lot of installation steps that had to be skipped. Some stuff pertaining to VirtualBox and Azure had to be adapted to AWS, and a few steps cropped up that some errors that had to be resolved through yarn queues and TES memory settings. HDFS to Hive was another issue. A lot of us had a lot of trouble trying to create external tables from the JSON files that were output by NiFi. So eventually we switched to a workaround where we leveraged the Hortonworks Sandbox tweet staging folder that was already there for us in HDFS, and the Hortonworks Hive configuration was set up to pull data into a table called tweets text partition. So we would just rename folders in a strategic manner whenever we wanted to change what data we were pulling in for queries. Further work, if we were to do this again, we spend time on building up a better sentiment dictionary. We resolved those issues. The next cool thing to do might be if we could do sentiment analysis in real time. We figure in order to do that, we'd probably need to investigate Spark and perhaps Spark SQL. Probably need to customize Solar Banana so that we could actually see the sentiment as a dashboard item. And perhaps even further off than that, if we studied some machine learning, perhaps we could have a sentiment dictionary that itself could learn and edit itself on the fly. Okay, so thank you. This was a terrific final project, and I hope you like our deliverable.